All right, happy Saturday. Thanks for stopping by over here at the Crazy Cul-de-sac. Still house sitting. Looks like I'm here for almost another month. So I hear cicadas in the background. Do you hear that? But anyway, I thought I would show you another round of this pop-up gazebo. I'm not going to spend the money on the expensive wind panels. I'm just going to go and get some tan colored tarps. They're like $3 a piece. I know the blue's ugly. Oh, that's the only reason I'm not going to use the blue, because it's ugly. But I want to show you, I got an idea from Hobo Joe. She said all you have to do is clip those panels up with binder clips. And see, the tarp still goes up underneath the rain flap, so the rain would still come down the outside. I got 3 up right now, but I think 4 would be ideal. That's it. Instead of spending $30 or $40 per panel, I'm going to spend $3 or $4 per panel. And down at the bottom, I'll just get a rock and put right there. Or there. And this is the way I'll set up in the wintertime. I'll have it enclosed like that. And you talk about warm and toasty. But in the summertime, leave it open. This screen mesh is so small that it actually blocks the wind. That's how tiny this mesh is. So in the summer, if you wanted a shade panel up like this tarp, you could still do that, but you'd want to pull the bottom out where it's at an angle so you could get airflow, but it would still shade the side of it. So that would be ideal. Just pull the bottom of the tarp out, put a rock on it so it's pitched out at an angle. You got a lot of wind still flowing through there, but you still get your shade. So that's my plan for that. So currently I have 2 of these blue tarps, but you know what? Let's put it down as ground cover on the inside of the tent. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, so that's what I'll do with the blue tarp. I'll use it as ground cover. Then I'll get some more attractive tarps for the outside. Tan tarps are pretty easy to come by. But for some reason the blue tarps are always the cheapest. I guess that's because they're so ugly. But this is a great thing to have. So glad I got this. I just hope it holds up. If it doesn't, I'll just stitch it up. I'll buy a sewing kit, and keep it stitched up. That's what I'll do. So it's 7 by 7. Tarps are usually 6 by 8 or 8 by 10. And the little extra that I have here, I could actually pull it on out and use it as a pad to put boots on, before going in. And yeah, this is great. All right, so let's talk a little bit about finances. I got curious a couple months ago, and I wanted to know just how cheap I could live. And even though I've been buying stuff off Amazon, like this tent and a lot of other goodies, in the last 2 months, it averages that I've been living on $8 an hour. Of course, I make more than that, thank goodness. But if I made $8 an hour, I could break even if I didn't buy anything. And I haven't been driving much, hadn't been using much gas. But yeah, that's my average. If my job paid $8 an hour, I would be breaking even right now. So I've still been saving pretty good. Of course, this new position doesn't pay near as good as my old position at work. That technical position I used to have was a very good paying job. And this one that I have now pays about half what I used to make. So if I had an apartment, I would have got evicted because I couldn't have made the rent. So it's a good thing I moved into the van well before all of that, So preparation really pays off when you're thinking about the future. And actually, I had no idea that, losing that position and getting the other was even in the cards. But it's a good thing that I actually thought, what if something happened and I couldn't make the income that I was currently making? So think about that, and if you're curious, go a couple of months and then crunch the numbers and see what you're actually living on. Because you got to think, you know, when you do away with rent and utilities, you're doing away with, I was paying $1,200 a month for rent, and the electricity and the water and the garbage and the cable was another couple $100. So yeah, I mean, that $1,400 is going into savings instead of into rent and utilities. But this is going to be another money-saving venture, making my own wind and rain panels instead of buying their overpriced, less thick material product. The tarp's going to do a much better job at wind and rain than their kite material product would. Okay, let's do the mandatory walk-in. Do the spin around. Try not to make you dizzy. See, I've got excess tarp up there in the front, and that's a good thing. I could pull that on out, pull this out toward the front, stake it down, and I'd have a little porch area to take shoes off if I needed to. I just noticed something about these flex rods. They're not really centered up exactly. So you have to grab this. See, it was like this. You actually have to grab it and center it into this panel here. This one was down up too high, so I just shake it till it gets in the center of this thing. That's all you got to do. This one was too high, so I shook it until it centered itself. But see, that's off center. Of course, they are Chinese made, all of them are. There's a view off the back deck. But it's warm in this tent, sitting right out here in the blazing sun. There's no wind blowing. And, you know, the earth is just getting too hot to live on. We're going to have to find somewhere else. Never seen van dwellers complain about cold weather. They're always complaining about hot weather, just like me. It's the heat that gets us. Seems like we're dealing with the cold really well. So looking forward to colder weather. So easy to heat a van. So hard to cool one. Alright guys, I don't know, we might do a guitar jam video later this weekend. I feel like jamming some more blues. But until then, take care, be well, smash the bell.